Hey guys, it's Sarah. So today I am doing a video on my book UNHAUL. I just went through all my books and I realized that a lot of these books I just don't have a spark for. I figured why keep them if they don't bring me happiness. Like, what's her name? That girl, whatever books don't spark joy, you know? I have over 25 books, 26 to be exact. And I am going to be showing you guys all of them. Not all of them will have much of an explanation. They're just going to be shown before I get rid of them. And honestly, I have no idea when I'll get rid of them, but I will eventually. So yeah, let's get started. So the first book is The Prank List by Anna Staniszewski, but it's a Scholastic book. I had this since like middle school. It was fun while it lasted. I'm not gonna reread it. It doesn't really spark joy for me. And yeah, The Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. This is the graphic novel for it. I had to read this book for 8th grade. So now I just don't want it. It doesn't spark joy. So Can't Look Away by Donna Cooner. This was also from middle school. Don't really want it anymore. It was a good book, but I don't really care for it anymore. Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Audier. I was really interested into this, and then I got a good 18 pages in and I didn't like it, so now I just have no want to read it. It's a good concept, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds really, really good. It's just not my cup of tea, and from the writing style, it just wasn't for me, so yeah. The Death Cure by James Dashner. This is the only James Dashner book I own. When I read it, it was like my favorite book ever and everyone should go read it. But then now I just don't remember anything from it, and the movie was honestly way better, and the movies are always way better when it comes to Maze Runner, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The Red Kayak by Priscilla Cummings, and it was alright. I don't want it. Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Queen of Shadows. I don't have Air of Fire because I lost it while traveling. While the first 2 books were good, I just have no desire to read the rest of the series, and so there's no reason for me to keep these when they just don't really spark joy from me. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I do really like Morgan Matson. It was a good book, but when it comes down to it, it's definitely not one of my favorite contemporaries. And I also don't really read that many contemporaries anymore, so this just doesn't really seem like one I would read again or one I would really recommend to somebody, because always my go-to is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, but I'm getting rid of this one. 15th Summer by Michelle Dalton. I read it so long ago and I don't need it anymore. Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Okay, this book was actually really good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, if I can remember correctly. I spoiled myself on the rest of the series, and now I just don't have the desire to read the rest of the series, so I have no desire to keep this book. It was a really good book, not gonna lie. It's really floppy. Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. I only got to page 56. And it was good, it was alright, but I hear that the rest of the series isn't good, so I'm not gonna waste my time on this book if the rest of the series just isn't good. So, Flying Out Loud, this book was alright, I just don't need it anymore, and it doesn't spark joy. The Last Forever by Deb Coletti. This is just a fluffy romance. This person was traumatized at one point, and now they move away, and there's a cute guy, and then they fall in love. So, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. So One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I actually read a good half of it, but I DNF'd it because it got really boring halfway through. Cute cover though, I'm not gonna lie. Legend by Marie Lu. I read it. It was alright. I think I gave it like a 3 stars. Insta love, not my cup of tea. Just pretty much like every other dystopian. But I'm not gonna blame it because it was written in like the big dystopian time. So 99 Days by Katie Cotugno. It was alright. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't need it anymore. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. I enjoyed this, but honestly, I can't remember anything besides the 2 main characters have problems. The first main character is like, I don't know, but she was like America's biggest person or something like that, and then the guy has trouble remembering faces, so that's all I remember. It's quite a controversial one. ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I got a good 96 pages in. I can't remember anything that happened, and honestly, I'm just not interested anymore. I just don't think Sarah J. Maas is my author. Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. It sounded interesting at the time. People love it, but I'm just not interested in it, and it's definitely at the bottom of my TBR, so I just figured I'm never gonna get to it. The Red Queen series. I actually like painted them because like that was when like the craze was like painting them, and I was just like, well, this is a book that I don't really care about, so if I screw up then I don't care. Red Queen was good. The ending was unexpected to me, but if I were to read it now, I totally would have expected it and I wouldn't have been surprised. And then I read Glass Sword, and honestly I got so bored halfway that I DNF'd it, and then my friend, she told me about it and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and so I just told her to tell me the ending to this, and I was like, oh my god, I need the next book.
She let me her King's Cage, and I think I read a good bit of that, and then I didn't finish it in time, so I bought it and gave her a copy back, and I never ended up finishing it, so...
Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. I've heard mediocre things about it, but I'm just not interested in it anymore, and I know there's a sequel out to it, and I know I won't read that. It was a good concept at the time, but I don't need it anymore, and I don't want it. So that is my book unhaul. I'm probably not gonna do this kind of video in forever, in a great while, but yeah, so that's my book unhaul. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later, and bye.